Please take a moment to increase the brightness on your device for optimal viewing. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sketchy Friendler, where every day I tell you a story and I draw you a picture to go along with it. Today I'm going to tell you what my family and I did during Hurricane Ian. But before that, just real quick, yes, I'm drawing in blue pencil. Just bear with me. I'll get into regular pencil shortly. Two, if this is too dark for you, then crank the brightness on your viewing device all the way up. And three, if you are watching this on your cell phone, turn your phone horizontal so the image fills up the entire screen and thereby gets larger. All right, so with that, let's do this. So just wanted to tell you about what my family and I did during Hurricane Ian because we are in Florida. People wanted to know. People wanted to know if we were safe, all that kind of stuff. Well, actually, we were not on the side of the state where it really hit hard, but the whole state was affected on a certain level, and we had planned to go down for my daughters and my medical treatment. So we had already planned a trip. However, we did arrange to leave a little bit early so that we'd avoid any, traffic or just bad weather getting to where we needed to go. Um, and where we went, it was probably one of the safest areas that we could be in the state during Hurricane Ian. However, that doesn't mean that nothing happened. In fact, where we were, while there wasn't, the massive, um, you know, horrible disaster that happened in other parts of the state, there were um, tornado warnings all night long. And what that meant was we had our, handy dandy weather radio, so we were getting updates. But several times during the evening, we um, we got alerts where they said that tornadoes were in the vicinity. So that was like in the neighborhood, and they were tossing stuff around, and they recommended that we seek cover. And what we ended up having to do is try to find the most, like, I guess, a central part of the house where it was the safest. And the safest part was there was a one of the bathrooms in the place that we were staying at was uh, right in the middle of the house, so that would probably be the most secure area to be in. Um, but what we'd have to do is go into crawl into the bathtub. So that's what we did. And this was it wasn't like this was happening earlier on in the evening or the day. This was happening in the middle of the night. So there was at least three times that we had to crawl into the um, the bathtub um, during the evening. So that wasn't the most fun, and it was definitely stressful because we didn't know, and we hear the wind outside howling, um, and then the weather channel that we were watching, the local weather, um, and also the weather radio that we had were telling us that this was happening in the neighborhood, um, and we weren't about to go out and take a look to see how bad it was. We could hear it, and that was enough. So we sought shelter in the bathtub a few times. Thankfully, nothing happened to the house that we were staying at, which is great. But we did We were very nervous. It was not a fun evening. I'd never we'd never this is the first time we just moved to Florida in March. But my wife, she really like kind of taught herself like how what to look for on the maps that they were showing, uh, how the hurricane was moving. So that's I'm lucky to have a wife who really like when she wants to learn something, she really like tries to educate herself in the best way, and she does it very quickly. So I'm always impressed because with me, it's like learning anything from me is so slow going. There's a lot of confusion, so I feel very blessed that I had my wife to rely on during this hurricane. I've been in a hurricane before. I've been in a typhoon, which is essentially the same thing, a couple of times. Once in Japan and once in Hawaii. But this is probably the scariest one that I've been in, just in terms of. Um, I guess I was. I don't know if it was more that I was more aware of what was going on, or just the magnitude. I think was a lot scarier. But we were fine. The next day, we had to go out and drive around, and we'd take my daughter to her medical treatment. So it was, we could see like their stuff was kind of messed up. It wasn't like super bad, but there was definitely damage, minor damage. But yeah, my heart goes out to all those people who really experienced the worst of it. Some people, even the people that, of course, the loss of life was tragic, but there's a lot of people whose lives are going to be changed forever because of it. Like they can't come back to where they were living, or it's just too much work for them to have to rebuild. Um, just people that have made friends over the decades, and some of them have to move away, so they're not going to be able to be with their friends that they've spent many years being close to, located nearby. um, it's just really it's heartbreaking. So thinking about you guys, so that. But for us, it was you know during that time, like looking back, we were very lucky that we weren't in the area that we normally are in, because that place, our home, got a little bit more um, in the path of Ian than where we were at. So thankfully we weren't here, but we still come back to having to clean up stuff and um, have some minor damage. That's not fun, but you know, it's not gonna in the long term. I think we're gonna be fine. But I tell you, man, that the wind, just hearing the wind, howling outside was that was enough for me. Thankfully, that's all it was. Because I think like even like a few blocks over, there was some damage because of the little tornadoes that kept just touching down, and messing up stuff. I always say, like, I like drawing my wife because she's got this widow's peak. It's very, very cool. And also, like, I've noticed, like, I like it. I don't know what she thinks about it, but as she starts to gray, she's getting these kind of like shocks of white, like Pride of Frankenstein or Doctor Strange. It's cute. I like it. Adds character. That's what I say. But the house we stayed at was really nice. I mean, it was good locations, close enough to where both Anna and I were getting our medical treatment, like kind of an average between both places. And yeah, so that is my story for today. And again, I always just want to thank all you for spending time with me as I recount stories. I guess this week seems to be shaping up to be just a kind of a catch up to what I did last week, or what we were up to last week. And so you can watch the videos on our main page, or you can come here for some of the highlights. Your choice. I'm here Monday through Friday on YouTube and Facebook. I I'm on Instagram if you just want to see these finished images that I do from the previous day. And then TikTok, I've got short form videos. They're about 2.5 minutes long. And what I do there is I go all the way up through the inking process. Also, I am doing, if you guys are familiar with Inktober, I'm doing additional Inktober videos there as well. Those are about a minute long. So I'm having a lot of fun with TikTok. You should check it out if you haven't. You find me on any of those platforms, just the same way you find me here. Just type in the Sketchy Friendler, and my profile will pop up. I think that should do it. On Saturday, of course, we always post the poll on Facebook where you can vote for whatever drawing you like the best, so that on Sunday, when I go live on YouTube and Facebook, I will color and ink in that drawing, and I chat with you because it's a live stream along with my wife. All right. Talk to you soon, guys. Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be back. Talk to you again.